YouTube, how we doing, family? It's your boy, Yo, and there's another episode of YoHoops. I go through every NBA game every day. Today's Monday, January 12th, and we have a 6-game NBA card. I'm going to walk you through my thoughts and let you know what sides I like, so please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your favorite game in the comment section below. Without further ado, let me get into today's recap. Recap yesterday, I dropped my highlighted play of the day. I took Denny Advia of the Portland Trailblazers to go over 26.5 points. It was getting sweaty towards the end, but I can't lie, he definitely would have cashed if he didn't get hurt. It was an 8-point game with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. All we needed was a layup from their primary scorer. Unfortunately, he left the game with an injured back. He ended it with 25 points on 8 for 17 shooting from the field. I can't say I was surprised to drop the play, considering the run I've been on, but it is disturbing that in almost every game I watch, one of the main players goes down, then is back in the lineup the following game. Something looks off to me, but that's why I typically bet on sides opposed to player props. Rough day overall, 3-7 on the 10-game card, but I've been telling you guys for a while now, Sundays are no joke. Luckily, that Kings game was the last game of the night because I was at least able to get back really all of my bread with that plus 475 money line. Still not happy with the day though. I'm locked in on the card tonight. Without further ado, let me get into today's games. In our first matchup, we had the Utah Jazz in Cleveland taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs are minus 750 on the money line, and the total is 250.5. Off rip, looking at this total and the defensive matchups presented in this game, I would take a look at really any player prop. This might be one of those matchups where you'll have a chance to cash the 8-leg parlay in the same game. We know Cleveland's been miserable against the spread, so I definitely lean towards the Jazz ATS in terms of a side, but rather than taking a side, I'm keying in on one specific prop. I'm taking Bryce Sensabaugh to go over 11.5 points. Since Ace Bailey went down, he's emerged as one of Utah's go-to options for scoring. He's getting up about 16 shots a game in their last 10. He's cashed it in 5 of their last 6, and he hasn't even been shooting great from the field. I'm gonna lock it in as my first selection of the evening. In our next matchup, we have the Boston Celtics in Indiana taking on Indiana Pacers. Celtics are minus 230 on the money line, and the total is 226. At first glance, I was surprised to see the Pacers as this short of underdogs, but the Celtics are dealing with a couple key injuries coming into it. Sam Hauser is listed as questionable, but the big news is Jaylen Brown being downgraded to doubtful. He's dealing with lower back spasms, and it's looking like he won't play tonight. The Pacers have been a tough team for me to figure out. Every time I bet with them, they end up getting blown out by 20. Mathurin is still ruled out, which I don't love if I'm on the Pacers, but with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum out, we're basically counting on Derek White and the boys to get a dominant win over a starving Pacers team. I'm going to take another shot with Indy, especially considering they're at home. Give me the Pacers plus a 6 as my next selection of the evening. In our next matchup, we have the Philadelphia 76ers in Toronto taking on the Toronto Raptors. Sixers are minus 150 on the money line, and the total is 221.5. We saw this exact same matchup last night, so both teams are on the second leg of a back-to-back. The game last night went down to the wire. The Raptors won it 116 to 115 in overtime. Toronto is still dealing with a handful of injuries to their key guys, so now on no rest, I'm even more worried about them in this spot. Obviously, Philly has revenge on their mind, and they're already in Toronto, so they don't have to deal with the flight. More of a lean, but I'll lean to the Sixers laying the 3.5 as my next selection of the evening. In our next matchup, we have the Brooklyn Nets in Dallas taking on the Dallas Mavericks. Mavs are minus 160 on the money line, and the total is 219.5. The Nets come into this one on the second leg of a back-to-back, flying from Memphis to Dallas. They played a competitive game against the Grizzlies last night without their best player in MPJ, but I will say the choke job at the end was crazy. I was watching that game, blowing an 8-point lead with 2 minutes left to lose it by 5 is nasty work. On the other side, I took the Mavs as my highlighted play in Chicago on Saturday. Those boys don't even deserve to be on an NBA court. Michael Porter Jr. is listed as questionable tonight, so he may play. Really, that's all I need to know. This one's a little personal. I'm taking the Nets plus the 3.5 as my next selection of the evening. In our next matchup, we have the Los Angeles Lakers in Sacramento taking on the Sacramento Kings. Lakers are minus 380 on the money line, and the total is 228.5. The Kings come into this one on the second leg of a back-to-back. Not much travel, but they do fly from Sacramento to LA. Really saved my day yesterday. They beat the Rockets outright as 12-point underdogs. 6 times your money on the money line? Needed that. Really, I feel the exact same way about the Lakers game tonight, considering they're still shorthanded, but at the same time, I can't count on the Kings to deliver back-to-back upsets. They genuinely are one of the worst teams in the league. We just have to find value in specific spots. I've been explaining to you guys, I don't like the construction of this Lakers team besides LeBron and Luka. You're basically hoping they carry you every night. Like I said, I'm not rushing to the window to bet with the Kings as significant underdogs twice in a row, but at the same time, I will have some cash down on the money line. I'm taking the Kings plus a 9.5 and split on the money line is my next selection of the evening. In our next matchup, we have the Charlotte Hornets in LA taking on the LA Clippers. Clippers are minus 180 on the money line, and the total is 223.5. I've definitely been impressed by what I've seen from Charlotte over the last couple weeks. Beat the Thunder outright, just beat the Jazz by 55 points, and they're now 12-8 against the spread on the road. The Clippers have been miserable at home, now the third worst team in the league, and their best player, Kawhi Leonard, is listed as questionable with a sprained right ankle. Charlotte has the advantage in terms of the starting lineup, but between the benches, it's not even close. The Clippers have Jordan Miller, Kobe Sanders, Batum, and Brook Lopez as their whole second unit. The moment James Harden needs rest, they're cooked. I'm taking the Hornets plus a 4.5 as my highlighted selection of the evening. And that's going to conclude today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Insane losing streak I've been on my highlighted plays, but I am still profiting on every game played, so I'm trying to find a balance somewhere in between. Hey, if you need to fade my highlighted play, do what you need to do. I will say I am confident we're getting back in that win column today, but I have dropped my last 8 highlighted plays in a row. That's almost impressive in its own right. I appreciate the support so much. I do this every day for free, so please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It's your boy, Yo! And until the next one, I'ma catch y'all. Peace.